So, we in that new year, new me season.
Yes.
But a lot of us still have some of the same goals from 2023. And a lot of y'all, and I know for sure because y'all came up to me and asked.
You did.
A lot of y'all wanted to start a podcast.
Yes.
I got good news for you, player. Spotify for podcasts is here for every need you have.
We've been using Spotify for podcasters since we started our podcast. It's so easy. You literally record, edit, and upload all from your phone, your computer. So no matter what your setup looks like, you can start now.
Yes, get your conversations, your opinion, your views out to the world. People need to hear you.
You can distribute your podcast to Spotify and anywhere else that podcasts are heard.
With Spotify for podcasters, you can earn money in a multitude of ways. Ads or podcast subscriptions. I mean, it's an easy way to get your visions out to the world and earn some extra pocket change.
Yeah, my favorite thing about all of this is free 99.
Yes. They don't charge you a dime. So you really got nothing holding you back. Today, not tomorrow, today. Let's be heard. Spotify for podcasters.
Let's be seen. Welcome back to another episode of the For the Healthy Host podcast,
where we talk about conscious living, self-awareness, and everything in between.
I'm your host, Ree.
Sunset Till.
Thank you so much for joining us and allowing us to be a part of your journey. I don't know why I was about to laugh this time. Again, what's wrong with me?
Tell you going to get rolled up at work.
Please don't write me up.
Continue this kind of behavior in the workspace.
Please don't write me up.
Yeah. So, how y'all been feeling? Well, no, I usually ask you. I'm sorry about that.
Thank you.
And put you first. How you been feeling?
I'm doing great these last few days. Last week, I went on a run. The same day we did the podcast and was hella tired. I'll never make that mistake again in my life.
You did.
So today I just kind of rested. I've been craving meditation lately. So I've been doing that and, listening to the needs of my body and healing my nervous system. So I'm feeling...
I don't know why that was funny. You put that together in words very good.
Thank you. But now I feel like I didn't because you laughed at me.
No, it was just...
I feel like you're making fun of me.
No, it was different to see somebody really articulate what they did in a 7-day period like that.
Well, I'm a real articulate lady.
Articulate fella.
Real articulate fella. How are you? How have you been feeling?
It ain't going to be as articulate as yours was.
I'm sure it will be.
I've been good. We've been going to the gym a lot, even on days I don't want to go to the gym.
Yesterday,
I've been able to push through and go to the gym. I'm very proud of that. I feel like I'm on the best journey as far as gym wise my entire life.
Agree. Yesterday I definitely did not want to go to the gym either, but I can speak for me. I think you too. I felt so much better after the fact.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where it just showed once again that it's about discipline, not showing up when you feel like it, but
or when you're inspired.
Or when you're inspired, but just being disciplined.
Yeah, so I'm very proud of the stretch I'm on right now. Outside of that, I ain't been drinking enough water at all. Not even a little bit.
Have you had any water today?
Yeah, I had some today.
Okay.
But it still ain't the best start in the world, but
that's okay.
Not you saying it's okay. Usually you dish the
I'm
fuck
not
out
gonna
me.
water shame you. My meditation has me grounded, so
we'll see. We'll see by the end of the episode how they go, and whatnot. But yeah, that's basically what I've been on. Creatively, I've been on a good run.
You have.
I've been creating a good amount of content. I got new music on the way.
And it's so good.
And whatnot. So yeah, the creative juice has been flowing lately, so I'm proud of that as well. And I just got to continue this streak, really.
Love that for you.
Yeah. And how are y'all from the cubes?
How are y'all from wherever you are? I want to say, so last week was a really exciting week. We ran into 2 of our supporters.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Yeah, so we live in, last week when we edited the podcast, we heard the overusage of the word and I cringed. I was like, I'm going to make it a habit to better articulate myself and not use fuller words. So bear with us. That's one of the things we're doing to perfect our craft. True. We're not using the word but
so much.
As much.
It's going to creep out there.
I can't promise you I'm not ever going to use it, but less. We ran into 2 supporters.
3 altogether, but just 2 different.
Oh, two different instances, but three altogether. So, yes, that was really, really exciting. It made my day both times because it was like in 1 week.
Yeah, it was. It was a good couple days apart. I'm trying to remember Shorty's name.
The first young lady that we met is Megan.
Yes, track star.
Track star. She ever run out? She a track star.
I knew you was going to say that.
Like. So, hey, Megan, thank you for coming up to us. We love you so much, girl. And the second couple that we ran into, I think her name was Alicia. I want to say it was Alicia. If it's not, I'm sorry, girl, but it's all love. We love meeting both of y'all. Yes. Did you catch her boyfriend's name? Her partner's name?
I don't think I asked. I think I was a little like
shocked.
Shook that somebody recognized us from the podcast that I didn't even ask. So that's on me, bro.
No worries. And she was just saying she was really nervous. I'm like, girl, don't be nervous.
No. If you see us out, say something.
Yeah, because it literally made our day, because I think we was low-key beefing that day.
We are
always beefing low-key
somehow.
Yeah, but that kind of like broke the ice with us, and that made our day. So we love you guys so much.
It was a really good experience. It really was.
Definitely.
So what are we rapping about today?
Today we're talking about just being a creative, putting yourself out there, the struggles, the highs, the lows. Being a creative can be such a broad thing. Like I feel like it's an ongoing conversation that you and I both have. So we're gonna try to, structure it the best way that we can. And I'm excited to talk about it.
Yeah, it is. It's a fun topic for us to get on.
So fun.
It is. Often it's a word that is like expanding every single day now. Creative. Facts. As so many different categories, I think 20 years ago just weren't existent. You know what I mean? But in today's time, with the use of really the phone just taking off as it has, social media taking off as it has, it's created a whole nother job market out there for people.
Yes.
And I'm so happy that we were willing to put ourselves out there into this market, into this unknown realm, and actually continue it, because that is a big thing. I think so many people dishonor themselves by not putting their work out there.
Agreed. And it can be really tricky, overwhelming, even as I used to think that, okay, when I get this many followers or when I reach this amount of success, I won't necessarily overthink, because that's a huge part of it.
Like, I got all this, I've done so much. I'm him, I'm her. Like, fuck that. I got the numbers that back me up. Mm-hmm. So you thought I'm with you too. Like, you think that will take away the nervousness, but actually the nervousness is always there.
Yeah, and it goes back to being rooted in who you are and being certain in yourself. That was one thing you said a few episodes ago that really stuck out to me, and I've been trying to, embody. I was looking for the word embody that within my being. And I don't know, one of the things that I always, I guess, insecure about is just like not feeling like I'm enough. And that has nothing to do with anybody else. Mm-hmm. That has to do with more so to do with my like childhood experiences and just the things that I've experienced growing up. But one thing that I've struggled with is feeling like I need to show up something other than myself. I remember I talked about this a few episodes ago. I'm always saying I talked about this, but we're talking about it again. But it was an episode about imposter syndrome and just feeling like I'm not enough. And even when I won like Black Voices and like all these amazing accomplishments that I, a few years ago wouldn't even believe, I find myself thinking that I'm not good enough, or why did I deserve this? Kind of like dishonoring and downplaying myself, like you mentioned before. And also when I think what I'm trying to say is I always wonder, like, why are these people watching me? Why are they here for me? And it makes me want to, like I said, do other things. Not, because really what I'm trying to say is, in my little head, it's like, ain't no way they here just for me.
Yeah, like, I get it.
Ain't no way. So our brain is always trying to find problems, and that's what my brain does, like trying to figure out why. Like, I don't get it. But you said this last week, we always see the light in other people and we don't see it in ourselves.
Yes.
So for me, I've been working on understanding that I am enough. That's why I love my favorite affirmation, I'm a worthy being, just by being, because yes, I get to show up, we get to show up, just be ourselves.
Everybody gets to,
but everybody doesn't choose to.
Yeah.
That's the thing. But yeah, and just understanding my worth and my value just by being.
Yeah, I think often we forget that our face is available, right? And we turn to so many masks that we put on in public with our family, with our friends. I think we forget that our natural being is also available underneath all the masks we have hidden to disguise our true feelings or our passions about things. We have to remember to be certain in who we are. You know what I mean? The rawest version of you. Everybody has these layers that we put on. It's a tough word out there, so I understand why we put on, tough skin, right? To block out so many negative things that come into our lives, conversations or situations, whatever it might be. But your natural being is also available whenever you want to turn to it. I think we often have trouble promoting ourselves because ultimately it goes back to one of those simple things of like, how well can you take a compliment about you, right? It's very hard for people to take, when people say things to you in a compliment, oh, you look great today. You like, this old thing.
Yeah, we downplay.
We out, no, I just did a little wraparound. I did a little wraparound with my hair. Well, it's nothing. Like, because it's on the flip side, do we respond with, yeah, I thought the same thing when I looked in the mirror.
Yeah, like
that is like, it would draw somebody back if you said that, like, yeah, I do look kind of fucking good today, yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? I do me.
Shut
shit, like,
up.
I do me. Like, that kind of thing. It does blow people back if you say something like that. Mm-hmm. So how do we find this delicate balance of promoting ourselves, accepting compliments from ourselves about things, having confidence in what we do, our abilities, our products, our services, whatever we're offering to people, to have confidence in that? How do we find this great balance of it all? Back to my G word, gratitude. Like, I'm just grateful to even show up.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm grateful to even put it out there. I'm grateful to show up. So I have to embrace all of the tries that I've given things. Like, I've tried a lot of different things. Some worked, some different. And I embrace it, and I'm grateful for me steady trying, and that has built my confidence up. I think often we can look at people or look at ourselves and ask, how can we lift our own weight, right? Are you strong enough to lift your own self up? Is what I'm trying to say. Like, Are you strong enough to lift you up? Because if not, then we're going to be running to external things to lift us up. You know what I mean? So, like, the likes, how many likes you get, how many shares, you know what I mean? The money, cars, clothes, and the attention from people and all the other things are going to be the things that lift us up if we're not strong enough to carry our own weight in confidence. And that's an everyday building up kind of thing.
Yeah. Let me just say, you are extremely articulate.
Nah.
Yes,
I just did it.
No, seriously, you are extremely articulate, and I often have a lot of anxiety when I get ready to sit down and do this podcast, when we get ready to sit down and do it, because I'm afraid that I'll sound stupid, and that goes back to me, being told that I was stupid as a kid. But my point being is...
Smartest person I know, by the way.
You said what?
Smartest person I know, by the way.
I know a lot of people say that, and I just don't get it.
Yeah, it's
like your family says that all the time. Like, they think I've literally heard your mom say, "Well, yeah, you the smartest person I know." I'm like, you must don't know a lot of people. But no, I'm happy that I have you, because I just being next to you and we're doing this work, it makes me feel grounded. I am, even when I hear you speak, I'm like, if I'm in a relationship and a partnership with this person and he's speaking this way, so intelligent, so articulate, there must be an ounce of that within me.
A whole lot of it.
A whole lot of
it. It brings it. You're welcome. It brings it out of me. Like, I ain't gonna say trying to compete, but like, I just be want to make sure like I can hold my own weight next to returner.
Nah, because I be like, literally, every time you say some shit, I'm like, well, damn, what the fuck am I gonna say now?
It's the other way around. Like I be trying to like I said, I just be trying to
I'm trying to keep up with you.
I'm just trying to be your Shaq, your Kobe. Sports. There we go, guys. First one of the day.
Shout out to the Lakers.
Shout out to the Lakers, up 3-1. By the time we hear this, the Lakers could be past.
By the time they hear
Yeah, by the
it.
time y'all hear it, the Lakers be past the Warriors. So yeah, shout out to my boy Bron.
They'll be passed. What do you mean by that?
Like they only got to win one more. So by the time
that's
they
so
hear this,
true.
next week, by the time they hear this, the Lakers might have already beat the Warriors. But we'll see though. We'll see.
I can't believe that Steph
Can't believe you
is
talking
going
sports.
out like this.
I can't believe you talking sports
What
right
choice do I have after I came home and dropped the girls off this morning? I was like, I can't catch a fucking break. We got ESPN here, NBA there. Literally, we went to bed last night, NBA. I walk in the house this morning, NBA. I can't get away. I can't get away from it. It's like, do you know
Ball is life.
Ball when he say ball is life, he means ball is life.
Ball is life.
Do you remember back in the day, and I don't listen to the radio often, thanks. Shout out to streaming, shout out to Spotify. But they used to play the same songs on the radio. And it's like, you don't
They still do that.
They still do, but I don't listen to the radio. But you hate it. You didn't really like this song. You're like, it's all right. But then you've heard it so many times where it's like, all right, this is a vibe. You singing it. It's in your head. That's how the NBA is. Like, it's not by choice. I'm talking about it, and it's not by choice.
It is what it is. I have a ritual, and I stick with it.
I love that for you.
You know what I mean?
I don't love that for me.
Well,
your ritual. I don't love your ritual.
Welcome to death row.
Welcome to death row.
Well, and like with all that being said, you still have to make the first steps into putting yourself out there. And I know that can be scary as hell. Like we looking at kind of like we're looking at the rest of social media or the rest of the market or the world, whatever you want to call it. You're looking at everything else and you're in a corner and everything's in front of you and you like, putting yourself out there is like stepping onto the dance floor. Like, and the fear is that you're gonna be exposed for having 2 left feet. And that's perfectly fine. Like, if you got 2 left feet, then shit, fuck it. Dance however you can dance. But we have to put ourselves out there. And in the beginning, if you want to take it to a practice stage, like before I was like, I rap, of course, if y'all don't know it. Now you know.
Sunset Tim on all streaming platforms.
Sunset Tim on all streaming platforms. Artists, in a year, we might drop 4 albums or 4 tapes with like 10 songs on them. But that don't mean we made 40 songs that year. It's more like 400 songs and y'all got 40 of them. So if you want to start it from a practice standpoint, making your videos, your product, or whatever it might be, you don't necessarily have to put it out there to be putting yourself out there. Get the practice in before if you're lacking a little confidence, anything like that. You know what I mean? Go to the gym and get your shots up to build yourself up there. But eventually, like all that work in the gym gonna have to account to something. So we have to go back to like finding a way to lift ourselves up every day so we can be confident enough to put ourselves out there.
That's a good point because you can gain that confidence by perfecting your craft. And when I say perfected, I don't mean literally perfect. Just keep practicing, keep going and going and going and going, because the only thing that can happen from you continuing to perfect your craft and put in that work, you can only get better. You're only going to learn from that. But thinking back to when you were just saying like putting yourself out there, I remember when I first started my blogging journey, because I started blogging and YouTube before, of course, any of this. And I remember I deleted my old Instagram account. So like I was in college at the time, and it was an account that had, had a lot of followers and even the engagement was there, but it was an account like for friends.
Yeah,
personal. It was one of those type of things. Yeah, personal. That's the word.
Personal.
I decided to delete that account and I started an entire new account, which is the account that you guys know and see today. But because I just felt like, what?
Go ahead. Though I just had something come in my head.
Oh, okay. I just felt like the person that I wanted to be and the content that I wanted to create, it didn't serve the people that were currently following me. It was like, why? And even then, a lot of these people did not support me. They didn't any of that stuff. Like, it was just like, what's the point? So if you have to create a whole new profile, create a separate account for your creative work to reach new audiences and connect with people who are into what you're into, do that. That's one of the things that I did, and I'm happy I did that. I'm happy I made that move because it got me to where I am.
Yeah, and I love everything you said right there. From, you said you created a new profile.
Mm-hmm.
And you said your other account was personal. Was it personal, or was it a personal mask you have made?
It was a mask.
Was it a personal mask? And then this new account was the original profile of Ree. Actual Ree.
It was the actual me, because the thing is, I found myself, especially in college, in school, I found myself having a mask on so much just to fit in.
Yeah.
And I've mentioned this before, but I think we both have this kind of thing where we're obviously black people, but I often felt like I didn't fit in. I feel like I wasn't black enough, or I feel like I wasn't.
Earl the Sweatshirt, I think, has a great line like, excuse my French, but it's like too white for the niggas and then too black for the whites kind of thing.
Yeah, I felt that. So I often put on this mask and I was performing just to be liked, to be validated, to be embraced by those around me. And one of my friends, Priscilla from Sadie Baddies, she said it best: those who really love you, see you, understand you, you don't have to perform for. You do not have to perform for. So I spent so much of my life performing, and I think the year was 2015. I was fucking tired. I was like, I'm gonna start all over. It was really where the true evolution of Ree, the true evolution of me really begun. And I'm happy. Like, I guess even I know grown ass adults like 50, 60
Still got the mask.
Still got the mask on. Take that mask off. It's okay to just be you. There are people out there who love you for who you are, who accept you for who you are. And if not, fuck them. But you first have to be, you have to be okay with you. That's point blank, period. But my point was, yes, I deleted that fucking profile.
Yeah, to start the real profile of who you are. The way you put that was
it was the rebirth. That's the word.
Yeah, it's like the rebirth. It's like the rebirth, or just like the coming of. When I was going through my kind of rebirth, my re-profiling of myself, that's ultimately what it was. You know, like I said, I gave myself this name, Sunset Tim. You know what I mean? It's not what my mom gave me. It's Travis Turner.
Your mom was making sure you got a job because it's better than Dorica.
It slightly is better, but like I said, for where I was gonna grow up, I should have been a Daquan or a Dominique or a Baby J.
You are who you are, though, and it's beautiful.
I am who I am. Travis Turner, the bank teller. It's who I am. Whatever it is. But I'm like, you said for a good job, fuck it. Look at me now. What am I?
Rich and unemployed.
Rich and fucking unemployed. So there we go. Thank you, Mom. But like I said, as I was profiling myself, it's kind of where I learned, like, life's math is not the same as the traditional math we learned at school, right? In life's math, when things are taken away from you, they can actually add to you, right? So I started reprofiling myself and ultimately starting to become who really Sunset Tim was, who I was meant to be. Mm-hmm. Activities started to fade away. People started to fade away. Places. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So many things was just negative, just flying out of my life at a rapid pace. Like, it was scary how motherfuckers was dropping off for me and things was dropping off for me. But ultimately, it just wasn't serving who I was finna become. So all of these negatives, but they added so much positives to my life.
Yeah.
I stopped going to certain places and started to find comfort in who I am. You know what I mean? I stopped talking to people about everything and started to talk to myself and find confidence in me about it. I stopped seeking validation through other people for my ideas to get out there.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I stopped any activity I felt like really wasn't positive for me. Threw that out the window. If I got done doing that thing, if it didn't yield something towards the life I wanted, it was like, fuck that thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, I speak about gaming sometimes, but I'm just getting back to like getting on the game.
I don't
Like,
think you've ever spoken about gaming though on
but,
here. They
but
don't know that you're a gamer.
a couple people wrote me and said that that's one of the things like I turn to. Like, it's one of the things I turn to for like stress relief.
Oh,
like,
okay.
But even that, like, I just got back on that like in the past like year or so and whatnot.
Yeah.
Just taking everything out. It's just like life's math is like that sometimes. You have to subtract things in order to go forward.
Definitely. I have to agree with that 100% for sure. My experience was pretty much the same. When you start to grow and become who you truly are, you realize that a lot of the people, places, things that you were so attached to that you use for validation, they don't serve you. They're not serving the evolution of you and where you're trying to go. And that's okay. I've said this before. Certain people, certain things, places are in your life for certain seasons. Some people are here forever. But certain people, they are here for seasons. They served you for that season. And you have to move on. You have to move on in order to become, you know, this evolved person that you were meant to be.
Yeah, because like, and you know, like, not that everybody from your past or whatnot gonna be cut off or all the places, but you know when something is better off left off. It's like, you know, just using myself as the example. Like, now that I make my music, I'm fully into that. The places, the activities from my past that didn't serve that ultimately act like the new me don't exist to an extent.
Yeah.
Right, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't hear my music. They act like that part of me kind of like don't exist, and they are kind of more wrapped into who I was then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's fine for the context if they want. Like, we could always have that past to always lean on and to turn back to. It's always a loving point for us. But ultimately, it probably was the best play if this new me, ultimately, you just don't rock with.
I feel like I have so much to say about that. I think that people from our past definitely gained something from us being the old version of ourselves.
Yeah.
Because it obviously served them in some way. Mm-hmm. I remember when, it's so funny, because I experienced, I kicked the camera. I experienced kind of the same thing once I got fully wrapped into who I am, you know, creating this wellness, lifestyle, spiritual content. A lot of things, people from my past, pretty much, it was like I didn't exist. Or they were bystanders. They wouldn't engage. They wouldn't interact.
Yeah.
Until now. That's what's so funny. Until now.
Yeah.
Now that our podcast is, you know, growing, and now that music and I've gotten these accomplishments, it's so funny how they work. Like, it kind of make you like, it's kind of like side eye. You sound like, what's really good.
To an extent.
Yeah.
Like, damn, you only fucked with me when I was like the little homie to you. Now that I kind of like stepped into my own, it's like, we can't sit together no more or something like that. If you don't mind me sharing a story from you, like, remember when you first, I think it may have been your first vlog, and you text like all of your sorority sisters or line sisters or whatnot, and was like, hey, could y'all share this? This was like 8 years ago though, right? About 8 years ago. And it's a multitude, it's a multiple of them. How many end up sharing it?
2 or 3.
2 or 3. And we know their names and whatnot. But it's crazy, like now, 8 years later, like the congrats come from everybody though.
Yeah.
And it's crazy.
I'm so proud of you. And it's all love. It's no.
This ain't a shot. It's just a perfect example of like, you have to see where you're going despite what people see in you today.
Yes.
You know what
people
I'm saying?
Can't see your vision, and that's okay.
Yes, like
people can't see your vision. People benefit and they gain from you staying the person that you were. It brings some level of comfort for them because it's the same. But if you got to make people uncomfortable and evolve into who you truly are, so be it. I'm not my goal in life. I'm not here to make people comfortable.
No.
If me changing makes you uncomfortable, you need to look inward.
Yeah, and like I'm gonna double down on, you got to see it in yourself, even if nobody sees it in you. No matter what you do, for a living, you are what you want to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, perfect example is as if you listen to my music or you've been on this podcast, like, ultimately, like, understand that, like, in, I want to say it was 2017 or 2018, I was a janitor at Coca-Cola at one point.
You said it was a glorified janitor.
Yeah, it was a glorified janitor's job. They called it, like, they gave it a great name or whatnot, or whatever it is. But, like, I would mop floors.
And let me say, what year was it? 2018?
It was either 2018, 2017. So, all, like, y'all be like, this has helped you so much. Like, if we wanted to, like, put it in some type of context, like, these words from a janitor, somebody who was a janitor at one point. I could have stayed a janitor for the next 35 years. Like, Coca-Cola would have let me work for them for the next 35 years as a janitor. I saw something more for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When I was washing, I remember one day I was washing the windows in Coca-Cola, and I saw my reflection in one of them. And I don't know why, it almost made me, like, break down and cry.
I'm finna fucking cry.
Why? So, no,
I think
it's happy tears now. I was like, how the fuck am I here?
I know. Sometimes life, it
get
be
there. Like,
that.
At that time, I was working. I was there as a janitor for 8 hours, and I worked at FedEx.
Yep, I was just about to say, shout
for
out
another 4 hours every single day.
I was just about to thank you for, like, you literally had 2 jobs. We didn't see you. We barely. Our girls, we barely saw you
at all.
And I don't know. I'm just so grateful for you, and I'm also grateful for you, you know, for providing for this family, but also. I'm finna cry. Oh my God. Stop. It's so important that you don't allow. Damn, them kids loud.
Yeah, our neighbors is loud.
They wigging.
Bad as hell too, y'all.
But,
so I apologize if y'all hear that.
But it's so important. I don't care where you are at in life right now. Don't let what you do for a living define you. You are so much more than that. Like, I hate when I cry. Oh God. But no, like, for real, you didn't let that shit define you. You knew what you wanted to do. You knew your worth. And, like, I think a lot of times people let what they do for a living and, like, what they do to eat and feed themselves and survive, they let that define them, and they don't go for whatever it is that they want to go for.
Yeah, absolutely. Motherfuckers ask us, like, oh, well, you know,
that's one of the first questions that people ask.
What do you do for a living? And like, you know what I'm saying? You say, I'm A. You are never that. That is just the activity you do for 8 hours to survive.
Exactly.
You are never that. Like, you are more than that. Like I said, you looking at a motherfucker. Like I said, I was a janitor 5 years ago.
And I was just about to say, just because someone is a janitor doesn't mean they don't have something profound to say.
Yes.
Like, people in this world in general, we have to stop judging people and valuing people based on what their profession is. Because we have to stop.
One of my best life lessons came at that job, though, right? My supervisor was a dude named Roderick, and he was from California. He grew up, I forget what neighborhood. I know niggas, like, you from LA, y'all know, y'all know that shit is like, it means a lot what neighborhood you from and shit like that. He was from like a Crip neighborhood. I can't remember which one, so I ain't gonna go into all that. But he moved to Texas. And he was the janitor there, the supervisor. And let me tell you, this motherfucker took pride in, like, cleaning and, like, that place and whatnot. And just the day-to-day things he used to say, he was like, because like I said, at that point in my life, I was kind of questioning everything. Like, bro, what the fuck am I doing here? Like, this is that. And
that was that Texas time, man, a really pivotal moment for us.
Yes, and I had a homie who worked there named Jesus and whatnot. And we used to be like, why the fuck do he go like this? Me and him was like, why the fuck do he go hard like this on some cleaning shit? Like, we do our jobs and whatnot, but he go over the top about this shit. Like, bro, we janitors, like, we kind of downplaying it, right? Me and Jose. And he come one day, like, I guess he could feel the energy, like, we was on that. And he was like, no matter what you do for a living, do it well.
Yes.
He's like, I know this ain't what you want to do for a living or whatever it might be, but you got to be 8 hours. If you commit yourself to it, do it well. Oh, sorry, y'all.
There it goes.
That's my alarm and shit. But yeah, he was like, commit to it. If you got to be here for 8 hours, you got to do this thing for 8 hours, do it well. It don't matter that it ain't something that the world gonna see. He was like, man, do it well. You'll feel better about yourself when you do a good job at whatever you're doing. And I'll never forget that. You know what I'm saying?
I've heard you say that. I never knew that's where
it came from. Yeah, it was him.
That's so
my
true,
supervisor.
though. I see that because if you do that way, if you do whatever, like your day job well, it's easier to put in that same effort in everything else that you do, including your passion, including your craft.
Yeah, working there got easier once I was more positive about, like, you know what I mean, whatever I did. You know what I'm saying? It taught me a life lesson, like, to, if I'm gonna do it, give it something. Like, really do it. Like, really get better. Like Reese said with the beginning of the podcast, we want to stop using the word like. I'm trying to perfect this. Like, I'm not playing with nothing I'm doing in life. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get better at everything that I participate in.
Exactly.
So ain't no point in me participating in it and I want to half-ass it.
Right. Agreed.
You got really emotional right there.
I know. I couldn't. I tried to.
No, I love to see the emotion. I really do.
Cause I'm so grateful for you.
I'm grateful for you. Like we both done a lot to sit here with these mics and talk to people. We've sacrificed so much.
We have, but we wouldn't be sitting right here if you didn't do what you did for us all these years ago.
And we wouldn't be here if you didn't do it. Because we speak about this all the time. It was like, you know, plant-based princess and birthed into like returner, right? Mm-hmm. But it was 6 years of like ultimately like not hitting the goal. Like,
right.
It was 6 years
on paper.
Yeah, on paper.
On paper, it looked like we weren't hitting the goal.
Yeah, for six years.
Yeah.
So it was a tough time period, but like every time I look back on that time period, it gives me strength. Like, that I know I can go forward. Like, just keep going. You know what I'm saying? Because I think people hold us back from so many things. Like what we perceive they think about us, what they gonna say about us, and how we look to certain people holds us back so often in life. I remember when I first started rapping, I was already like older. I was already like 28.
Were you? You were not 28.
When I dropped Step Outside, I was like 28.
Oh yeah, you were.
That's like my first like thing that actually got put out there. But I've been rapping.
Yeah, I
before
just want to say
that.
the thing people don't know. You were like 21.
Like,
you just wasn't dropping it. You were just like really perfecting your craft.
I said I wasn't a professional until like I was like 28 or whatnot. And I remember I went back to the hood and somebody was like, "Oh, you really want to start rapping now? You like 29 almost. But you finna be 30. You gonna drop music now?"
I remember that.
And like, bro, I'd have made some of the hardest shit.
Yeah.
At this point, if I had just listened to whoever that was, you know what I mean?
You wouldn't be here today. And that's what's wrong with people. They think that at a certain age you got to give up on your dreams. No, I'm going to continue going for my dreams and whatever it is that I want till I no longer have air in my lungs. You don't understand. You
don't understand. I think some people think that like you said, you quit at a certain age, but it's like, let's say God looking down on you like, okay, I'm going to give them, it's going to take them 2,114 days. But if this motherfucker quit on 2,113, I'm not giving it to him.
Yeah.
Like, bro, you can quit now, bro. You could have been so close to the other side of the goal, bro. Like, don't quit. Like, you way closer to the goal than you were to the start. Like, why turn back now? We went so far. Like, why go back now?
I think that's the downfall of human beings. And especially as creatives, you really have to believe what you can't see it.
Yeah, you speak all the time about being very delusional.
You have to be delusional.
You gotta be delusional.
Literally, I remember when I was in middle school and I wasn't even the best singer, but I was always writing songs. I was always singing. Everybody knew, like, So Def was really popular back then, if you don't know. But I was like, I literally on all my notebooks, all of my folders, it said the princess of So Def. Literally everybody in my school, everybody in my class knew, like, yeah, she wants to be a singer. And I'm looking back and they probably thought I was fucking crazy. And even into high school, my best friend, I told her, I remember me and her had this conversation to this day still. I was like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna be a singer, and I was like, I'll put a thank you on the back of my CD for you, because CDs was in back then. I was like, I'll put a special thank you to you on the back of my CD, and I have always been a bit delusional.
Yeah,
I have always been delusional.
You put me on that concept, and it works out well for you. It's like, just like it says, looking into the mirror and seeing you for who you actually are and where you actually going versus what people might see in you. I don't think people ain't looking from the same vision as you.
Nah, because here's the thing, it's your vision. How could they?
Yes, and like, it's so special when you meet somebody. Like, I met Ree, it's so special when you run into a motherfucker with vision like you.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like you wear glasses. I know there's a lot of y'all baddies out there that's blind as fuck listening. Like all y'all got bad eyes, right?
Right.
But all y'all prescriptions is so unique. Like it's a number to it.
Okay, yeah,
Because
for
like
sure.
you and my daughter, like you and Aubrey, our oldest daughter, y'all both blind, but y'all can't wear each other glasses.
Nah.
Because y'all got different prescriptions. It's so specific to you.
Yeah.
And that's like vision for your dream.
Yeah.
It's so specific. And if you are able to find a community or a person, anybody that accepts and sees you as is, try your best to like do right with them people.
For sure.
Because it's rare to find vision. It really is. Despite every fucking week we finding new people blowing up with shit. New people out the blue every week. Businesses are blowing up and people are glowing up right before our eyes, right? How is people still finding the energy to doubt folks?
Exactly. I don't get it.
I don't. Like,
anything is fucking possible, bro.
Anything is fucking possible. I believe it all, bro.
You tell me anything. You tell me any idea. I'm not gonna doubt.
I'm not gonna be like, nah, bro, that shit dumb. Like, I'm not.
There's a market for everything. There's an audience.
Too much. I didn't see too much. We've done too much. I didn't done too much in my personal life to be like, nah, they can't have it. Cause niggas didn't think I'd at least be this far.
Nah, they didn't.
Girl, people didn't think you would be this far.
No, they didn't.
And it's crazy to and I ain't stepping on nobody's throat. Foot ain't on nobody's throat. It ain't nothing like that. But it's just like,
it is what it is. Like, it's just,
it is what it is. You didn't see me getting nowhere close to here. Like, you didn't see this for me.
Right. But I saw it for me, and that's what matters in the end.
That is what matters. And like I said, make sure you got that vision. Make sure you can see. Make sure you passionate. Make sure you being your authentic self when
that's
you go out
so
there.
important.
Because that's the one thing that's going to separate you from everybody else, is being your authentic self. You know what I'm saying? The shit that I rap about that fly out my mouth, if y'all listen to the songs, it's not what you're going to hear in the traditional, like, today's rap music.
Right.
Like, lighting up an incense.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking about shit like that, going to the park. You know what I'm saying? Veggie ramens and all this kind of things. Like, you're not hearing this in most raps, but you got to have confidence to want to be yourself.
Yes, and that's the beautiful thing about it. If we can really, let me say first, that's what's really beautiful about your music. You're not going to hear anybody else talk about it or say the things that you're saying, because you're speaking from your experience, your highest self, your truest self, your most authentic self. And that's what sets you apart from everyone else. And I want to, extend that to all of our listeners and say, if you show up as your authentic self, it don't matter who doing what. I don't give a fuck if
don't matter.
if it's 20 million, musicians and it's this many people in wellness, and I don't care who's doing what. If you can truly speak or create from your highest self, your most authentic self, you'll always win. You're always going to come out on top, because that's what sets you apart. I don't care. You can have two sisters who live in the same house. They're going to have two different experiences. Thanks. One person, I love mom. Mom was the best. No, mom was so mean,
Yeah. Ultimately.
That's a part of the human experience. Going to always be different. So always show up as yourself and be authentic and speak your truth.
Yeah, if you want your own lane, that's how you got to do it. Like, and you'll hear a lot of people talk about, and I hate when I hear a content creator.
Why your alarm gonna be off?
I don't know. Oh, I ain't hit it.
Sir.
I had to turn it off. I'm sorry. That's my grounding alarm, y'all. Make sure y'all got one too.
Make sure you got a grounding alarm.
In the middle of the day, make you have a grounding alarm so where you can go to a safe place and ground yourself and think about what you've been through.
And just breathe.
Just breathe. You're gonna be all right, champ. But what was I getting around to?
What you said? I don't remember.
What was the last thing
I talked about authentic.
Okay,
authentic.
There we go. Being yourself creates your own lane, and I really hate to see content creators that like kind of have already sort of quote unquote made it talk about the market is saturated. That's one of the worst terms I've ever seen, is the market being saturated. No, the market is, you are the market. It's never oversaturated for you.
The market.
It's always going to be a spot for you if you being yourself, because that's never been seen.
Yeah, I hate the word oversaturated. Like, I be ready to square up. Like I don't care. Let me tell you something. Somebody shared our podcast and they were like, it's all love to this person. They were saying like, I know everybody and their mama got a podcast and it's oversaturated. I'm gonna tell you something. I had no idea that it was quote unquote oversaturated.
I
had no fucking idea because I don't care what everybody else is doing. I don't. I genuinely don't give a fuck what anybody else in wellness music. I don't care what anybody else is doing. And one of my favorite, I heard this a long time ago. You heard it too. You go down a water bottle out and there's so many different water brands. It's fucking water.
It's just water, bro.
It's water.
It's
and it's
fucking
so many.
water. And this person splashed a little lemon in their water.
Exactly.
This one got it from a spring. Or this one does this process to it. It all generally is fucking water, bro.
So oversaturated my ass.
Fuck all that. Be yourself and you will find a lane. It can be the smallest crack in the system, bro. I'm talking about the smallest crack, but if you are yourself, it will be wide open for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and speaking from experience, the wellness space is very much whitewashed. It is. It's
yeah.
A lot of these practices, these mindfulness practices, and the food, they all started in Black culture, or even like to go further back, our ancestors in Eastern cultures. But we see people who don't look like us talking about it. And that was one of the main reasons that pushed me to go forward, because you talked about finding the smallest crack. That was the smallest crack I found. Like nobody looked like me. Yeah. Nobody looked like me. And also from another standpoint, I am a very creative person. I've always been there. Because number one, there weren't many people, and still aren't to this day, many people that look like me in this particular industry. And alongside that, I have a passion to create beautiful things and just to make things look really beautiful. There was a gap that needed to be bridged.
Yeah.
And I took advantage of that.
And it's like nobody sees the gap either.
Nobody sees the gap.
But you. It's your own vision. Like I said, the smallest crack will work out for you if you just being yourself. Mm-hmm. Like you said, it was a lot of people that was making vegan food.
Yeah.
I mean, then you like, a lot of people making vegan food. And there was some Black girls that were making vegan food.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? But are they cooking it the way you is? Or are they presenting it in the same fashion that you are? Is the presentation
I'm a hoe for aesthetics.
Are they saying the word like hoe? Like,
are they saying the word hoe? This podcast, like, for the healthy hoes.
For the healthy hoes. Like, who was willing to, in general, just jump out there and be like, healthy hoes? Because in the beginning, it was a lot of flack. And just to see the name, like, why would you call yourself a healthy hoe? You know what I mean? And shit like that. Like, it was so, it was a different thing for a lot of people to see, you know what I'm saying? But just that right there is a perfect example of, like, that's how we found the crack in this podcast. Like, for it to take off the way it is. Because it ain't like traditional podcasts. When I listen to traditional podcasts, they are clean cut. We ramble and that shit stays in there.
Yeah.
Like, they are very clean cut. They take parts out. You know, it sounds like very professional, like a ABC, TNT.
Yeah, and let me say, I was very hesitant on spot.
Damn.
Oh,
these kids
my God.
Bad as fuck,
Get
bro.
y'all bad ass.
I pay too much money for this shit, bro.
Bruh. But that was one of the reasons why I was kind of hesitant on starting this podcast. Because, like, truthfully, we don't have any degree. Well, no, I got a degree. We don't have any, like, what's the credentials?
We ain't got no credentials, no connection.
None of that stuff. So I was like, well, should we? But that ended up giving us the upper hand.
Yeah, it did.
Like, we don't get me wrong, we know what the fuck we talking about. We do our research, we read, we do inner work, but we are here being ourselves and we're relatable. And I think that's definitely what sets us apart from a lot of people.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, be yourself at all costs. Whoever don't want to fuck with the truest version of you is fine.
Yeah.
If for a period, if it's just you, it's fine. If it boils down to just you and two friends, that's cool. I think
that's okay.
You ain't gonna learn it. I know a lot of y'all be real young. A lot of y'all be in high school. A lot of them not gonna learn it yet. But like that big friend group, it's naturally just gonna boil down to one and two.
Quite naturally.
I'm not saying like purposely go do it, but like watch as life goes on. Naturally, it's just gonna come down to you and a couple real ones.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Well, make sure the first real one that you connect with is yourself.
For sure. And speaking of authenticity.
Yeah. You said it right.
Authenticity. I know that, as we talked about before, putting yourself out there, whether it be on social media or not, it can be scary. A lot of times we get so caught up in the numbers, and we allow that. I was going to say let and allow. I intertwine those words, but we allow that to affect our creative process, and it takes away from us being authentic. And I know I'm guilty of that.
Yeah.
I'll be like, okay, well, this didn't perform that well. Maybe I should have did this. That's okay.
Yeah. Use the numbers for some type of advantage too. Sometimes too.
Yeah, I think you have to find a balance between creating what's true to you, but also serving your audience. I think there's a fine balance in that.
Yeah, I think it's a fine balance, like you said, in the numbers. Like, numbers are a tool. We should use them for some type of, you know what I mean, information. That's how you turn a loss into a lesson. Like, you know what I'm saying? You look at the numbers and you kind of evaluate what went right, what went wrong. But don't let numbers hold you back from putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. What you're trying to mention is like,
and don't lose yourself in the numbers.
Yeah. Also, once you start to get them, because you're going to get them because you're fucking awesome.
You're amazing.
You are fucking amazing. Once you get them, don't lose yourself and don't get caught up in every video got to do this or every video. Just remember that what got you here is being yourself.
Exactly.
And you got plenty of self to give around.
I love that.
You got plenty of you to give out. So just make sure you being yourself. I also want to make sure that you're adapting well. Because ultimately, what we think is going to happen and how we think it's going to look and how it sounds is often two different fucking things.
Bruh.
It's so many times I go into record a song and I think it's going to go well on this one and the other one might be a struggle. It's very much often flip-flops, and the one I thought was going to sound so perfect just doesn't sound that great once I did it.
I agree to that 100%, because even I think we've known about this topic since last week, and I've been thinking in my head like what I'm going to say, but I couldn't predict the things that you were going to say. So things just flow so much more beautifully than you can even imagine sometimes when it comes to your creative work.
When you adapt, like, I didn't think I was going to be a content creator. I really had it in my head. I was just going to rap, put the songs out, tell them the song is out, and kind of be done with it. But like, as I got into the flow of trying to find a marketing strategy for my music, I felt like being a content creator was the best strategy.
Yeah, that's definitely.
Well, it was the best strategy. Just show them how I live. Just show them show them ghetto with class. I rap about that. That's a phrase I say all the time. And like, let's go back to like bridging the gap in cultures. Like, ghetto and class not supposed to sit in the same table. Like, when you say something is ghetto, it's not supposed to run correctly. It's just not supposed to be proper or done in a certain way.
Stereotypically.
You're speaking from a stereotype. When you say, "Oh, this is so ghetto here," it's a problem. Shit is not run right. But no, this is ghetto with class. This is the best of the culture in the most professional fashion. You dig what I'm saying?
I love that.
That's what I mean by that. The best of the culture with the most professional touch to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really from there, but I'm also really tapped in with this, like, taking care of myself all the way, taking care of business all the way, and being on top of things. I'm really trying to have some type of class out here. I move with some type of class.
Exactly.
My shirt's tucked in right now. Fuck you.
Your shirt is
like
tucked in.
It's tucked in right now. I'm moving with some type of class. Like, that's what I'm on. Like, I'll rock the loafers with the ball cap. It's really like bridging two cultures together, and I only get that because my authentic self is like that. Like, I am like, I like a lot of ratchet shit.
Me too.
But I also like a lot of classy shit too, though.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying? So
you don't have to fit in a particular box. That's another thing that I think about. I think I spent a lot of my time back then, trying to fit into a particular box.
Yeah.
And I guess quite honestly, I was adapting. You
adapted,
yeah. But you don't have to be in one box. You can be all of these things. You can like classy shit. You can like ratchet shit.
Yes, you can.
I think sometimes people don't think that people who are in tune with themselves and into spirituality don't like ratchet shit. I literally remember seeing a TikTok. It was this dude. He was saging, and I reposted it on my Instagram story. And he was saging. And I forgot what song Nuck If You Buck was playing. And he was like singing that song with his stage. I was like, that's me, bro. Like, you're allowed to be all of these things. You're allowed to do that.
Yeah, it's like I said, being yourself and adjusting to the game. Like, it's really what it is, like adjusting to everything. Like I said, I didn't think I was gonna be this kind of rapper when I started rapping. I didn't think I was gonna be like.
Yeah.
I categorize it as me as a lifestyle rapper.
For sure.
Like I spit my every single day. Like I post my every day, and if it's just fucking cleaning the living room up, like y'all gonna see that.
Mundane.
Then. You
You're
know what I'm
gonna-
saying? The
you're
real
gonna hear
mundane,
about
like
it.
the flies nigga and the mundane is kind of like what y'all gonna see.
Because it's relatable. And when I think back to when I first started my YouTube channel, I would have never, and we just spoke about it. This is so aligned. It's aligned so well. I was just talking to you yesterday. I was like, I really have done a career pivot in a sense.
Yeah, for sure.
I started off, I didn't even realize it until it had happened. I started off creating content on YouTube, mostly vlogs, but it was like lifestyle vlogs talking about food, and we had some productivity, some cleaning in there here and every now and then. And now I have, these collaborations with brands like YouTube, TJ Maxx, just to use my voice.
Yeah.
Talk about affirmations, breathing techniques.
Yeah. Like you said, from somebody who started out on food. Now you getting, paid to talk affirmations. That's crazy.
Yes.
Like you said, and like I said, a YouTuber who has grown into a full-time like podcaster.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'd have never thought I would have been a podcaster, like, ever. That was never part of the goal. Like, yep, make an album, make a podcast.
Yeah.
Like, it was never in that fashion. We just adapted to what we had.
Exactly.
And make sure y'all doing the same thing. Whatever you have, whatever tool you have. If you want to start vlogging and you only got an iPhone, use that motherfucker.
I think your iPhone is the most underestimated tool that you have.
Outside of your mind.
Yeah.
But
But
that iPhone, like, bro, you
use that hoe.
Like I said, it's crazy to think like these computers in the pocket and we don't be using them hoes, but to order DoorDashes and shit. Man, chill out now, chill out, big dog. Like that same phone can like buy stocks too. Mm-hmm. You can order DoorDash, you can buy stocks. Like you can buy real estate from the phone. Like it's so like the iPhone. I can go on and on about what you can do from the phone.
It could change your life. Just use the tools that are in front of you. What you have right now in front of you is all you need. It's good enough. You don't understand just by doing something as simple as posting a video about your particular experience or whatever it is. You don't realize how it can reach so many people and make so many people feel seen, but also change your life. You have no idea what's in store for you. No clue. Because I could have never even dreamed this.
No, I could have never. Not once in my life. And before we ramble y'all day and into like a frenzy of you doing 12,000 businesses at once, you know what I mean? We gonna end this beautiful conversation right here to give y'all time to focus in on what y'all want to be, give you time to nurture who you naturally are, the original mask, the skin that you are in. Yeah. Give you time to nurture that and put that out to the world.
Definitely. Before we go, I want to let you know that you are worthy just by being. You don't have to perform. You don't have to be anything other than what you already are. You are enough. And everything you want is already yours. Remember that. If you can think it, if that thought was in your head, it is yours. You have to trust in that. You have to believe in what you can't see because it's out there for you.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. On that note, we love y'all. Thank you so much for spending time with us today. We're sending you so much peace, so much abundance, and everything you need in this moment. Bye. Mwah.
Peace.